What's up, everybody? It's 9 o'clock in the morning and ready to film a discussion video. A lot of time today. I'll probably get 2 videos out and try and stream, and then I'm gonna go to a play later today. Christmas Carol. But yeah, I wanted to talk today about Sanji's raid suit and the pertinence and possibilities within the story. So, I think Sanji is going to end up wearing it. I don't think he's going to end up wearing the suit until it comes to a dire situation. I don't even know if it would happen in Wano. Wano is a point I'll talk about, but it's definitely going to be against one of his harder villains that forces him to use it. But I see him using it more regularly after that. The other possibilities, he's just never going to use it. I have 3 possibilities lined up because I still don't think Oda was just going to give it to Sanji and then never use it. Especially since they didn't show him chuck it or anything. I mean, he wanted to get rid of it, but Luffy and Chopper wouldn't. My other theory was that Luffy or like Usopp or possibly Chopper, probably not Chopper though, would end up wearing it more as a gag bit. I could see Luffy wearing it and having frustration, kind of like he did with the, the wind dial board deal, the Nami's little moped deal. Something similar to that, or, he'd just wear it like a suit of armor or something like that for a bit, but wouldn't be able to use it right. Usopp, I could see it possibly, and then that'd be a boost for him if they continued to let him use it, but I really doubt it. I feel like either Sanji's wearing it, or it's not being worn. That's kind of where I stand, other than like a gag bit. But if Sanji were to wear it, the types of things I want to talk about were the possible enhancements he'd get out of wearing it. Because it would obviously, I think it would scale him up almost, not double, but half of, how was I going to put it? Like, by 50% of what he already is at. So it would like, almost double him, I guess is the way I put it. It's almost double his strength. And I think, you've seen how the raid suits work with the Vin Smokes. Sanji incorporating that with his tactful fighting prowess, and then also his fighting ability. He's decently strong. He's in the monster trio. I think Zoro's on a little bit of a better plateau. I hate really comparing them because the way Oda wants it, I think, is for them to be kind of equivalent. They're kind of rivaling against each other and they're supposed to be neck and neck. But it's like where Zoro lacks, Sanji gains, and where Sanji lacks, Zoro gains. It's like Zoro's really, really good in armament, hockey, and he's really good at fighting. Not to say Sanji isn't. He's just more tactful and smarter about how he fights. He definitely thinks and plans way further ahead and understands his opponent. It takes Zoro a lot of simplistic thinking to get to the same fighting style as Sanji would. Sanji's definitely more thoughtful, but he kind of lacks in the actual power department, in my opinion. This would be a way to level that out for sure. It's hard to say because Zoro really hasn't seen a match to compare him to. Pika's about the closest, and even that was maybe mid-diff. I wouldn't even call it that. It was Zoro barely got wounded. But, the birdcage was more of a threat to Zoro. But Sanji, on the other end, he has had a couple fights, but really a lot of them have been also mid-diff. Because even like with Oven and stuff, they were more running away during Whole Cake, so I wouldn't call it a lot of losses. He'd lose to Judge, but people are putting Judge up there. Judge hella high up there. But, the possibilities of Sanji getting a raid suit definitely would boost his capabilities in fighting. And I think some of the enhancements he'd get was that it would be reinforced in the foot. One, he'd have reinforcement in the feet and leg. Possibly, I was thinking boosters, something to speed up his kick, add more power behind it. Because you saw they use those like orbs almost on the bottom of them. Reiju and Niji both have them, and when they jump around, it's like they can fly and jump farther. Not that Sanji really needs that. He has Skywalk, but some other things to bolster his power. And then, yeah, definitely flame retardant. I think that may be something to help with prolonging how long he can fight with his legs on fire. Maybe he can turn his legs up a bit hotter than he was able to take before. Before he could only do 1 foot, now he can do 2 feet. And he has a bunch more combination attacks. Be interesting if he could add more power to that, though. So yeah, I said reinforced legs. And I wouldn't be surprised if there was actually enhancements in like the hands or upper body, maybe, reinforced chest and stuff like that. But like, also I just wouldn't be surprised if the hands had other abilities, but he wouldn't use them. Sanji, again, refuses to use anything that involves his hands, even regarding like wearing a suit protecting him, I think he used guns in a movie. Even then, that doesn't feel Sanji to me. And I mean, there's more possibilities. The other thing I wanted to talk about was the possibility that the suit was made by Reiju or Judge here. I most likely think Reiju went and had their scientists cook this up during the events of Whole Cake, or even a little before, because she knew they were going to meet Sanji. And she'd helped him escape before. And maybe she saw this as a way of helping him and made it preemptively. And then, when things went south and they were splitting up and going to separate, she had, not Niji, oh man, I've been saying Niji for Yanji, but Yanji, but anyways, Niji, maybe she had Niji, take it to Sanji when Niji helped them escape. Other than that, I don't. So there's a possibility that Judge did it, but the thing is, Judge had given up everything on Sanji after he was like 5 or 6, pretty much. It was like he wasn't showing abilities, he wasn't prospering like the other children. Even Reiju, who hadn't had the same exact procedure done, was showing results, and this is because of Sanji's mother and her trying to keep him from being a superhuman. Which, I mean, he's still technically a goddamn superhuman. The guy can light his legs on fire and run through the air. Regardless, she's trying to protect him from the fate their father was raising and keeping him from being emotionless, pretty much. And he ended up not going through the same procession. So Judge kind of just abandoned him, like acted like he wasn't his child. He said he couldn't kill him. He didn't have it in his body or in him to kill his own child. But he did not love Sanji, really. He looked down on him. He thought he was essentially like a mar on his perfect record, And Judge had a lot of like expectations for these kids off the bat. And he'd made these raid suits for them. So then you have the question of, if Judge made it, in the chance that Sanji may have used it, he would have only made it when Sanji was a child. So it'd be child side. He wouldn't have the dimensions to make it for Sanji now. Unless for some reason they would track him. The other possibility I came up with was that maybe they thought after the events of Whole Cake, if Sanji proved himself trustworthy and, after they'd left and kidnapped Pudding and stuff, that maybe they'd give him a raid suit. That was the other possible maybe. But I really think it was Reiju. Unless they can bust these things out in like 20 minutes. They just print them out, 3D print it, bam, done. I think it was Reiju who had that made for him. But where do I think the rest of the Vinsmoke family will be involved in the story? Because I don't think they're going to be playing a part later and making Sanji like... Sanji's going to see Reiju, maybe Reiju, but I'll get to that. Judge or someone get hurt and decide, he's got to don his family name and homage his family history and wear the raid suit. The most I think is they're gonna get cover story. I think they're gonna get a cover story arc that kind of tells us about what's going on with them and where they went now. And the only Vinsmoke I see reappearing is Reiju, and just because she showed pertinence in the story, she's a big fan favorite. And just the relationship she has with all the Straw Hats and stuff, it definitely makes sense for her if any of them were going to show up again. But I don't really think, other than that, any Vinsmokes are going to be a part of the story again. I know people are wishing it's just too much. There's just too many characters. We gotta get the Grand Fleet back in there. And I would imagine that Oda definitely set up for that to be brought back in some big war, or maybe a save Luffy from being executed type situation. You never know. But regardless of those theories, I think that's it for them. Damn, Reiju. Top 5, girl. Top 5. My number 1, honestly. Waifu all day. Her and Boa. Ugh, Reiju. But yeah. So the only thing I see possibly going on with Sanji, other than, you know, a real hard fight just being simple and easy put, like he's pushed against the wall and has to use the raid suit, or someone, you know, chucks it to him and makes him wear it, something along those lines, and he finally accepts his fate. Something beyond, like, just, you know, a major overarching plot. But I think another possibility is that we have Nami and Robin get in a dire situation, because I don't see it for Luffy. Well, maybe Luffy, but never Zoro, never Usopp, never any of the other crew. I'd see him donating the suit. But Nami and Robin, if it came down to it and they were getting hurt and he couldn't act fast enough or do enough and he needed a power boost, the only option was to throw on the raid suit. That would be my guess. But yeah, the other thing I said was, yeah, that Sanji just never wears it, and Oda uses this as a way for him to separate himself and not lower himself to the Vinsmoke standard. And you know, I don't think the Vinsmokes are as bad as they were now. I think they've definitely grown from this arc. But you know, it could be a way for Sanji to say, no, I've cut ties. I'm done. I'm not, you know, a Vinsmoke. I don't wear the raid suit. It's just not me. I'm all natural. I'm Sanji. I have my way of doing things. And that's possible. Oda could just set this up as some way to give Sanji strength over the Vinsmoke family in a sense. But yeah, other than that, I said possibly gag reel related Luffy wearing it. I'm sure there's a bunch of shenanigans that could go on with that. That would be hilarious. They may even do that and the other, you know. But it's definitely hilarious how much they were stoked on the raid suit. The Sugoi, oh, you know, just good stuff. So yeah, I talked about when it was made. The only times I can think is while they were in Whole Cake, pretty much, or just before they were going to Whole Cake, when they knew they were going to meet him. But I don't really think it makes sense for it to be made before. Some negatives I see to wearing the suit. I don't remember if I really had any. No, I think overall the suit just kind of is going to boost him. I don't think it'll take away from any of his abilities or anything like that, unless Oda adds some weird quirk to the suit that he's like not used to it or something. But I definitely think it'll increase him noticeably, but I don't think it's the end all be all to Sanji in fights. I think it's just going to be decisive if he needs that final push, you know, kind of like that. But it's not going to be the, you know, this guy is just destroying me to throw on the raid suit, now I'm destroying him, going Super Saiyan 2 or something like that. You know, I think it's just supposed to be an added feature for him. Gotta love Sanji wearing some kind of goofy suit like that. I don't know. That'd be hilarious to see him get a bloody nose in it, I think. Oh yeah, I didn't even show off the Luffy raid suit. Yeah, when I was talking about gags, I thought it'd be hilarious. Luffy just looks like he'd have a blast in one of these. I thought that was a dope panel. But yeah, the big thing is I think it'd be good for him because it would reinforce his legs. And you know, he almost shattered his leg when he kicked the old Corazon, the second Corazon, what's his name? Diamante? No, not Diamante. Oh man, what was that dude's name? He always had hamburgers and cheeseburgers stuck to his face. A random spoon. Virgo. Yeah, Virgo. When he fought Virgo, he almost shattered his leg. So having some reinforcement so he can kick at his hardest without worrying about major repercussions. And then, yeah, flame retardant. just something to maybe boost up the heat he can pump out of his legs, so he can really get things going. Like talking Sakazuki level heat, some stuff like that. But I think there's a lot of interesting things around this trade suit, and I definitely think it'll be shown again at some point. I just don't know how he's gonna go exactly, but these are some of my thoughts about where he could go in directions with it. But Sanji, I think, could use the power boost. There was some decent power handouts after Whole Cake. I'm gonna do another video talking about Nami and Zeus, because there's a lot that can be done with that, and it's a really big power up for her. But for Sanji, I don't feel like this was like I said, end all be all, but I think it was a good thing he could use. I think it'll put him a little more on par with Zoro. I don't know, like I said, I thought maybe it might be used in Wano. Depends on how they break up the fights. If he just fights a samurai, I don't think Sanji's really going to need the raid suit. If he has to fight one of the calamities by himself, there's a possibility. There's definite possibility I would see him wearing that, because it could be a rough fight. But we'll just see how Wano pans out. But I definitely know we'll see raid suit in the future. Well, this was Snoop Reviews. Another discussion. Thanks for hanging out. And tune in a little bit. I'll have another video out, and then yeah, just hang around. We'll have videos out almost on the daily. We've been working on keeping it on the daily, which I've been doing better than I thought. I was only gonna try and do like a video or two a week, but I've been able to keep up anywhere from 4 to 8 videos a week. So sometimes a little more than one a day, and still fitting streams in. So keep it up.